Welcome back, geeks. Many of you expressed your desire to learn subject-verb agreement, and so that is the topic that we will begin today. Subject-verb agreement is one of the most important topics in English grammar. Complete knowledge about subject-verb agreement will help you not only to write grammatically correct sentences, but also improve your spoken English. It might look like a difficult peak to conquer, but once you are acquainted with the rules, you will find yourself enjoying this topic. So shall we begin? Before we learn about subject-verb agreement, let's split the words subject, verb, and agreement. We look at each of these words individually before we learn the rules. And to do that, we must revise what we know about singular and plural. We have learned that singular refers to things that are one in number, while plural refers to things that are more than one or many in number. I'm sure you remember reading about singular and plural when we studied nouns. The singular car changes to cars when it becomes plural. Flower changes to flowers. Kite changes to kites. We have seen how a singular noun is changed to plural by adding s at the end. But when it comes to verbs, this is reversed. It is the singular verb that has an s at the end. So look at these verbs: catches, flies, knows, pays, writes. Let's also look at the auxiliary verbs: is, was, does, has. All of them have an s at the end. The plural, however, do not. This is one thing that you will have to keep in mind. Now there are two exceptions: the singular I am and you are or you were. We do not say I is or you was. We have learnt about verbs when we studied about the parts of speech. If you haven't already watched it, you can find a link to the video on the parts of speech in the description box below. Well, we learned that verbs are action words and they tell us what action is being performed. And as we have learnt in the previous slide, the singular verb ends in s while the plural does not. Now, let us look at what we mean by subject. If the verb tells us something about the action being performed, the subject tells us who is performing that action. The noun or pronoun which is performing the action is called the subject, and therefore it is called as the doer. Shall we take some examples? His father drives the car. Here the action that is being performed is that of driving, and therefore drives is the verb. The one who's performing the action is his father. Hence, his father is the doer or the subject. Let's look at the next sentence. Mary's mother bakes tasty cookies. What is the action being performed here? Yes, baking. Therefore, bakes is the verb. And who is performing the action? Right, it's Mary's mother. So she is the subject. Try the next one now. Peter and Paul go to school. Which is the verb here? Go. And which is the subject? Right, Peter and Paul. And the last one, they play the flute. How about this statement? The verb is? Yes, it's play and the subject is they. The pronoun they is the subject here. Now that we've established who the subject is and what a verb is, we can now move on to what an agreement between the two is. Subject-verb agreement means that the subject, that is the doer of the action, and the verb, which is the action being performed, they agree with one another. Meaning, if the subject is singular, the verb must be singular, and if the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. So let's go back to the slide once again. His father drives the car. The subject we've established is his father, and it is a singular noun. Therefore, the verb drives is also singular. Now notice that the verb drives has an s at the end. So we do not say his father drives the car. We say he drives the car. Mary's mother bakes tasty cookies. Again, here too, Mary's mother is a singular noun and therefore the verb bakes is also singular. Here again, bakes has an s at the end. Peter and Paul go to school. Peter and Paul are two people and therefore plural. Hence, the verb go is also plural. They play the flute. Now, they is a plural pronoun and hence the verb play is also plural. If the subject is singular, the verb is singular. And if the subject is plural, the verb is plural. Therefore, when we use the singular verb baby, it takes on a singular verb cries. But when we change it to the plural babies, it takes on a plural verb cry. So the baby cries loudly, but the babies cry loudly. Similarly, the girl sings a song, but the girls sing a song. The man is tall, but the men are tall. The dog chases the cat, but the dogs chase the cat. Well, that's all for today. We'll look at the other rules in the next video. But before I go, let me leave you with a worksheet so that you can practice what we have learned today. Type in your answers in the comment box below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And if you haven't already done so, don't forget to share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get a notification as soon as I post my next video. Until next time, bye-bye and take care.